7th April 2022 Morning Murli Shanti BapDada Madhuban. Sweet children, everyone in the Iron Age is bound by the chains of Ravan. Everyone is in a life of bondage. Now make them liberated in life. Question: what inheritance is received by all other human souls as well as by you Brahmins? Answer: everyone receives the inheritance of liberation in life. You children of Brahma became Brahmins, and this is why you receive the inheritance of liberation in life for 21 births. All others first receive liberation in life, which means happiness within their particular religion, and then they receive sorrow. Everyone experiences happiness for the first half of their time and sorrow for the other half. Not everyone can experience the happiness of heaven because, in order to achieve that, one has to become a Brahmin and study at the school and gain victory over Maya. Song: see your face in the mirror of your heart. Shanti. Who said, look in the mirror of your heart to see how much sin and how much charity you have accumulated? That is, to what extent have you conquered the five vices? Have you become worthy of marrying Sri Narayan, the king and queen, as well as the subjects became the masters of liberation and life, means heaven? Therefore, look at yourself in the mirror and ask whether you are able to do as much service as the mother and father. Only you Brahmins understand that this is the Iron Age and everyone is in a life of bondage. Not a single person is liberated in life. You too were in a life of bondage, but the Father inspires you to make effort to achieve liberation in life. The Father has explained that everyone is in a life of bondage because this is the Iron Age. They are bound by the chains of Ravan. The Iron Age is a life of bondage, whereas the Golden Age is a life of liberation. In the kingdom of Ram, the king, the queen, and the subjects all have liberation and life. In the kingdom of Ravan, the king and queen and the subjects all have a life of bondage. At present, all human beings are in a life of bondage. They are tamopradhan and experiencing sorrow. Everyone now has to become satopradhan. The satopradhan state starts with the golden age. Each soul has to play his own individual part. When a soul first comes from the land of peace and enters his own religion, he has a life of liberation. In the golden and silver ages, known as a life of bondage, because there is no kingdom of Ravan there. It is the kingdom of Ravan and the Iron Age. Throughout the whole earth, it is the kingdom of those who have a life of bondage. Even the one who was number one in the original eternal deity religion is now in a life of bondage. However, it is at this time that he is becoming liberated in life. Liberation in life does not mean that everyone will go into the golden and silver ages. No, liberation in life means to be liberated from the sorrow of Ravan. No human being can give liberation or liberation in life to another human beings. Only the Father takes everyone into liberation, that is, to the land of Nirvana. Everyone will first go to liberation and then to liberation in life, number wise, according to their religion. Just because they do not go to the golden age, it does not mean that they cannot be known as those who are liberated in life. All of those who come at the beginning of their revolution are liberated in life. Souls have to be Satopradhan at first and then go through the stages of Sato and Rajo. Everything changes from new to old and old to new. At this time, sages and holy men all have lives of bondage. It is the Iron Age until the Father comes. He is known as Baba. Whether you call him Mahakal, means the great death, or something else, his original name is Shivbaba. You call out to him Baba, Baba. You say God, the Father, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. The Father explains, I come and give you children, liberation as well as liberation in life. Those who come in the beginning will definitely go into happiness and will later experience sorrow. After liberation, you go to liberation in life. Then later, there is a life of bondage. In the beginning, you definitely experience happiness. The Father gives everyone the inheritance of happiness. But some may have happiness for just one part. They will come and experience happiness for a short while and then die. They only have that much of a part in the drama. The number of human beings continues to increase. Even now, they are continuing to come. But they are not going to stay here for long because destruction is just ahead. Even new ones who come in the Iron Age will not experience sorrow to begin with. They will definitely have a good status of some kind. From the land of liberation, one must first go to liberation in life. After being liberated from the bondage of Maya, you will first go down into happiness and later go into sorrow. At this time, everyone has reached a state of decay. Having played their parts of happiness and sorrow, everyone will go into liberation and liberation in life. Liberation is via you will go up and then definitely go down again. All the human beings of the whole world will go again into whichever religion they went before. King Janak to receive liberation in life. It doesn't mean that there is no kingdom at this time. They too will definitely come at the end and take knowledge. All of you receive liberation in life, but number wise, according to your efforts. It can also be said of all of those who belong to other religions that they too receive liberation in life, number wise, according to their efforts and according to their religion. All of those of the teacher religion who have gone into other religions will emerge. Everyone has to return home. You first have to become Brahmins. In fact, all are the children of Brahma, but not everyone will become a Brahmin. Those who became Brahmins receive liberation in life for 21 births. Raj Yoga has to be studied in order to claim the throne of a kingdom. This is a school, and in a school you have to study. There are also many rules. Once you have an aim, you can even go abroad and continue to study this. We are definitely the children of shivbaba. You must definitely claim your inheritance from the Father. Some write, Baba, the evil spirit of Ravan is harassing me, and there is sometimes a slight intoxication of lust of anger. The Father says, you must gain victory over that. The sword of yours is for the power of yoga. You try to stay in remembrance, but Maya breaks your intellect's yoga. Baba has explained that everyone will receive liberation in life, but this doesn't mean that everyone will go to heaven. Everyone wants to be liberated. Those who come to play their parts at the end will be liberated for that length of time. They have so much peace. They live in peace for 4,500 to 4,750 years. Such are their paths. You live in both peace and happiness. You people shouldn't want peace like theirs. For they simply sit there. It can't be received by asking for it. For this drama, it's predestined and nothing in it can be changed. Many have a deep desire for peace. They receive much more peace than the happiness that you receive. But you receive both peace and happiness. Here, there is only temporary happiness and no peace. It is the land of sorrow. To go and sit down in the forest is not real peace. If it were peaceful there, they would stay there. Why do they come to the cities and build so many flats, etc.? In the golden age, there is nothing but peace. Those who come at the end think that there is only peacelessness here, but that they themselves experience peace. They consider others to be peaceless. These are matters to be understood. Everyone receives liberation in life. You rule the kingdom for 21 births. The rest come later. They stay up above in peace. Someone who comes at the end of the golden age or in the silver age also comes from the land of peace. There is no sorrow. You will come number-wise. There is an account. People think that science is very powerful. We say that our silence is very powerful. We receive power by having remembrance of Baba. They attempt to go to the moon with the power of science, whereas you go beyond the sun and the moon in a second. There is nothing beyond the subtle region and the incorporeal world. The incorporeal world and the subtle region are very far beyond the sun and the moon. However, no one can know this. All of these are the details. If it is not in their fortune to be a Sun dynasty king or queen, they are not able to understand or explain anything to others. No one can say, I have the knowledge of liberation and liberation in life. Means like the example of King Janak. Everyone has been put in jail. At this time, everyone has been put in jail by Ravan, and so Ram now comes and liberates everyone. You have been made instruments by the Father to liberate everyone from the clutches of Ravan and to give them liberation in life. Your name, the Shiv Shakti army, is well known. Towards the end of this drama, your name will become very elevated. Since the father came, the status of mothers has been uplifted greatly. In earlier times, mothers had a high status abroad. There, if a girl is born to someone, they became very happy. Whereas here, if a girl is born, they turn the bed upside down and they do not even celebrate her birthday. They say that Kanhaiya means the title of Krishna belongs to the Kumaris. In fact, you are all Kanyas means Kumaris. This is your new birth. Everyone is number-wise in studying. Souls are not larger or smaller in size. Bodies become large or small. Some understand quickly, but because it is not in everyone's fortune, others are not able to understand. Both liberation in life and a life of bondage refer to this corporeal world. You are liberated in life in the golden age, and you receive a life of bondage from the copper age onwards. Everyone has now forgotten their times of happiness and is experiencing sorrow. There is no one who can say we experienced happiness for 21 births, because it is now the kingdom of Ravan. Everyone has become like dirty clothes. There is no kingdom of Ravan. So how could they be called dirty clothes? Yog Bal means power of yoga, and Bhog Bal means power of devices are also mentioned. Their children take birth through the power of yoga. Your children know the customs and systems. There is no question of anyone else knowing. Americans know about their own customs and systems, and we now know about our customs and systems. We are those who reside in the golden age, and all our customs and systems there will be new. We will follow those as we did a cycle ago. Whatever happened before is now to happen again. Some children go into trance and see the customs and systems, but you also have to make effort to claim a high status. Those who saw those customs and systems means in trance are no longer here, and so there was no benefit through that. Therefore, everything depends on how you study yoga and knowledge. Yoga means to remember the Father, and knowledge means to spin the discus. This is easy. The Father says you have to come to me, and you must therefore remember me. When people are dying, they are told to remember Ram, means God, but they do not understand the significance of that. They are not able to go back there by merely calling out Shri Krishna's name, because it is the Father who takes everyone back home. How can you return home without having had your sins absolved? Now it is the time of settlement for everyone. Then everyone will return here at their own time. You have to embed these points. Note them down. You have to follow the mother and father. Mama never caused anyone distress. Baba receives many reports about the teachers, saying they do not have any manners. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is teaching you. So you should be clever. Everyone loves those whose behavior is good. However, some cause great distress. They slap themselves and thereby destroy their own status. There is also the saying, the Hindu people slap themselves. They have called God, the one who gives the fortune of the kingdom, omnipresent. By slapping themselves, they have reached the state. The scriptures say, God speaks, I am omnipresent. But God Himself says, I am not like you that I would slap myself. Am I in the cats and dogs? The Father says, you have defamed me, but this too is in the drama and it will happen again. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, do not perform any wrong activity. Imbibe the virtues well. Follow the mother and father. Second point, use the power of yoga to finish even the slightest intoxication of lust and anger. Become instruments and do the service of liberating everyone from the chains of Ravan. Blessing. May you be constantly happy, hearted, and stay beyond all questions of what, why, like this or like that. Explanation. At any time or in any situation, happy hearted souls will not have any questions, even in their thoughts, in terms of themselves, in terms of relationships with everyone, or in terms of matter, such as why is this like this? What is happening? Does this happen to? For happy hearted souls, while doing, seeing, hearing, and thinking everything, they are aware that whatever is happening is good for them and that only the best will happen all the time. They are never caught up in any confusion of such questions as what, why, like this, or like that. Slogan. Perform every action while considering yourselves to be a guest, and you will become great and worthy of praise. Om Shanti